Check it out. It's a new Nikkke statue. Not really new, one I ordered a while back. It's the Christmas Hot Spring Special Event Noir statue. Our favorite bunny girl. Although it's tough to have a favorite bunny girl in this series with so many. I mean, Soda's pretty good. I don't know. It's tough to decide between Soda and Noir here. But Noir was the first, second, first of the duo of bunny girls with Blanc and Noir, or Blank, or however you're going to pronounce it. So let's get this open, but let's take a look at the box first. That's pretty cool. Shows the outfit that you're going to be getting from the best Nikkke Christmas event, as opposed to the horrible Nikkke Christmas event with Nora, that piece of garbage. Nobody liked that event, and anybody who did is wrong and stupid. All right, there we go. We got the back view of the outfit. Very nice. And over there we have some cool different shots there. Top. This one, it's got different lighting on it. Looks a little more cartoony, even though it's the real statue. Very cool. It's a nice box. So let's just open that up. Oh. See, this one doesn't look like it's going to require much. Ask your parents' permission before you use sharp objects. Oh, I figured it would be about this size. It kind of reminds me about the same style, shape and such as the whatchamacallit, Rupee statue, or Loopy, Yeah, I know it says Rupee in the game, but she calls her fans Lupins, and she's got like a wolf fang, you know what I mean? I know it's that whole Kansai wolf fang thing, but yeah, she's got a wolf motif, without actually being a wolf. Not this character, but Loopy. So I'm just going to call her that. I don't care. I think the translators got wrong, which they get many things wrong. We won't get into that, though. There's Slicer open. The box, not Noir. I think right now Noir is one of my most powerful characters. The last time I played. Oh, she's got a different head. Nice. That is very cool. That's something the other one... No, I don't think this is the same line at all as the Loopy or Rupee. Yeah. But it is, and it's a little smaller in many ways, but already I'm liking it, quality-wise. Let's get this plastic off here. Bump. Put the lid on this thing here. Just toss it to the side. Add in some cats and garbage can sounds as I toss everything. There we go. Not too overly packed. I like that. There we go. Let's take a look. Okay. So there was a Christmas Hot Spring event. I think it was the first major Christmas event that I played. Not the first major one of the game, but that I actually caught. And I chose the Emma route, but I went back recently, as at the time that I started disliking the more modern Nikkke crap. I went back and started playing some of the old events, and I'm like, yeah, there's a big difference between the quality. We can get into that a little later though. But for now, let's take a look at the statues. And one of the things were characters in there was Noir. And she was with Blank, and they had these kind of fancy high-end kimonos here. I'll just bring a little closer look there, and we'll see if we can in focus a little more. No, that seems to be what it is now. Hopefully that looks good on the camera there. So this is her outfit here. We'll just take a quick look here. And I will say it's pretty accurate to the game. Like I don't see anything that's off about it. The only thing at first I would think, oh, the material for the kimono looks too hard plastic. I mean, it is hard plastic, but it's supposed to look like cloth. But I kind of like it. It's got kind of like a like a Japanese carving, like a wooden carving look to it. Like this is made of that material, some material, or like some kind of cloak or something like that. All right, just had to step to the side for a bit. Yeah, and so I do kind of like the cloth material. It's not quite cloth material, but the hardness actually works for this. Gives it that kind of mystic, very classic Japanese feel. The rest of it, let's see here. So we're going to take a close look at the hair and face. It's hard to get in there. Like, I could see it fine myself, but with this camera, I'm not so sure. There we go. So that face, it looks like Noir. Yeah, I like the little mark there on the side of her face. I don't know if that was a scarf. That was just a line there. It's hard to see. There's a little black line on her face. That looks pretty cool. A lot of times these statues, the faces, look like the character, but they kind of look a little off. Like the Emma statue, the face looks pretty dull. The Loopy/Rupee statue, the face looks like it's like true photocopied from the game. This looks a little in between. I'd have to look at Noir's face again. It definitely has the dimensions of her face. I mean, I know it's the anime face, but her the way her chin is pointed, I can't name out the proportions of her face, but based on what I see in my eye and my memory, it looks like it is. It looks like it's right there, and it's exact. Hair is pretty cool too. Just in general, I do like this kind of done up characters. You know what I mean? When they're on vacation or a special event or something like that, and they have a big kind of poofy do there. It looks it's a little Japanese, a little Western combined. The three roses are looking good there. That gives her that kind of purity look, which was part of her appeal. She's the out of the two bunny characters that first started it off, Noir and Blanc. If Noir would be the timid rabbit, you would hear the rabbit, you would think timid, and Blanc would be the excitable rabbit, the one that jumps up all over the place, that and runs up to people. And together they're sisters. They're also kind of part of the team 777s, I think it was. They part of those big coin rush issues. Anyways, back to the actual statue itself. I like that kind of soft doe eye type thing. The little nose twitch that's going on there, and the eyes kind of looking to the side there, like a little concerned, but a little it's a perfect pose for that kind of or facial expression. So we'll just turn around here. I like this item here. I'm not sure what this thing is called. Normally, I'm pretty good at that when it comes to names of weird Japanese things. I'll know the name and I'll start saying it all the time. But I've seen these before, so that's true. Just a second here. Yeah, I've definitely seen these things before. And it looks like it. I'll take a closer look here. Can it actually come off? It might be able to, but I think it is weakly glued on. I think it might be able to pop off there. Not that I want it to. Those hands look pretty accurate. To human hands. They're nice and petite, so they're not oversized. They fit her. Let me see there. They fit her her personality and her physical dimensions. Let's take a look back here. Got good. They tend to do good back muscular design on these figures here. It's not too overdone. Obviously, she's not like toned or bulked. but she's not like, I mean, she is super thick, but like, she's also fit at the same time. So you're not going to get too much there, and you're gonna see a bit of the definition there, which I kind of like there. Hair looks good back there too. So let's go down to the boots. I like these kind of, what do they come up to the, just below the knees. We'll just hold this up here. Yeah, she's got kind of those boot heel things going, where it comes up like that, but it's even, so it doesn't give that high heel look. I guess if you think about her character, she is a Nikkke, she's a fighter. So giving the boots a little bit of a military look, it's kind of like how like Tifa, she's wearing the tank top and the skirts, but she wears like big boots. You know what I mean? To give her that, like, yes, she's also down home type thing. She can get a little gritty. I wouldn't say that about Noir. Even in gritty situations, she maintains her softness. I think it's more so that these are fashionable boots that actually go with the outfit, and the fact that she's in a winter hot spring area, so it kind of fits that there. She's not like say Tifa, where she's got softness, but she's also got hardness. Noir is all softness, all right, in terms of personality and look. But she fights, but it's kind of like that, like soft or timid character who pushes past the softness to fight, despite it, but doesn't turn hard because of it. Like, you'd get like, you could think of plenty of anime character examples where the girl, like that Naruto show, Hinata, she never became like vicious or cruel or hard or like bitchy or anything like that, It's not like, say, like Usopp, from One Piece, where he's like all timid, and then he gets up and he like roars and he's like, you won't do this to my captain and all that stuff. It's not that kind of thing. She actually stays true to her character. Not that they're not true to their characters, but it's a different style of character. I mean, not everybody's going to be the conqueror warrior, but some people fight to protect, and other people fight because they're warriors. Noir is a bunny girl dancer. You know what I mean? Pole dancer. It was a Nikkke. She's not a warrior at heart, but she fights because she's been turned into a Nikkke. So they come up there, and I like those stockings. Just in general, on the camera, they look really good. Outside of the camera, they look kind of bad, I'll say, the stockings. Like, the way that it pinches here, normally I like that, but this stocking kind of sticks up a bit, It's like a plastic. Again, what was good here, the hard plastic material, this just kind of looks like a nothing plastic material. And it kind of takes away from it a bit. This is great, the band up here. From a far distance, it looks okay, but I don't know if it's because it was like pinched up here. Maybe it's like a defect in my figure, but it doesn't look too great. Knocks the point off, but not much. You come up to the thighs there in the midsection, pelvic area. She's got kind of like the Chun-Li, Mai Shiranui little loincloth thing, whatever you're going to call it. The sash in the middle, going. Great exposure to the side of the hips there. They actually give a nice positive and negative space to the outfit there. You've got the flesh there. You've got the darkness of the clothes, and it really gives a good kind of, like I said, positive and negative space. It captures the eye, but it also keeps it going. That kind of like, almost like triangular look going up and down like that. I like the heart tattoo. That's pretty cool. It's not even really a tattoo. It's just kind of like a little line. Who knows? Maybe she drew it on herself. Oh, I'm looking at the frickin' sleeve for the kimono here. That design looks pretty damn cool there. If you can actually see it there past the full thigh, which is looking pretty good. I mean, they didn't skimp on that. Oftentimes, you will sometimes see a character and they'll skimp on the curves for some reason, either because it's difficult to do when it comes to 3D modeling. It's easier to make somebody who's thinner, actually. And a lot of these things, as I would imagine, they 3D model first and then print them. So, but yeah, that looks pretty cool there. So we're just going to move up here. I like that kind of like tied sash rope design. That's looking pretty cool there. Kind of brings it together there. You've got what part of what Noir is known for. Her massive milk jugs there. Looking pretty good. And the way I like this with the outfit, because her bunny outfit actually shows more. But in a way, I kind of like this better. I mean, I love bunny outfits, but I've seen them so much because I like them so much that, you start to get used to them. So when you see something different like this, it's a nice surprise. So what I like about this is it comes down and it fits like the kimono. Nothing feels like it's like out of place. But you kind of get the side boob there. You know what I mean? Going, which, like obviously it's physically appealing too, but it works with the outfit again with the whole negative and positive space thing, but it doesn't feel tacky. It still keeps that, well, not to say that anything is tacky, but it doesn't feel that kind of like, that like edgy sexiness. It's more delicate. It's more her at a Christmas, hot spring, in a fancy, elegant kimono. It seems more elegant than it does, like it fits her character. It's not something you wouldn't expect. Obviously, you've got the front. I like how the lights are gleaming right off of the golden trim over there on the camera. That's pretty cool. Usually, again, for 3D modeling, dark cleavage tends to be difficult to do. So it's good that they did it here. They didn't seem to go too deep, though. I think that they may be the same object, and then they just carved a bit there, just enough to kind of give you that look, I'm not sure if this camera is capturing it properly. I may have to do that again another time to get another, better look there. But with this here, there we go. That's much better. Look at that. There we go. Now that is a quality image. Let's go down here. Yeah, look, now you can see the real detail on the boots. Now everything's really standing out here. Now you see what I saw about the kimono sleeve there. Look at that, and the whole, the paint job on the actual flesh there. I like the, she's got like, it's not like too overdone, the shadows and the highlights, but they're just enough to make it work. With somebody who's tan, you usually don't want to do them too much because it starts like affecting the outfit too much and affecting the physicality of the image there. It stops becoming flesh and it becomes just like painted plastic, if you know what I mean. I like that neck scarf going there. That's pretty cool. The gold tassels there. Again, it adds to the softness of the character. And the way she has her hand up there with her hand in the sleeve, like it's like kind of like the too big sleeve thing, pulling off that very classic, elegant kimono look. Now we're going to take a look at her other well-known feature, what you see in the game, This over here looks pretty cool, the side boob. You know what I mean? Again, it's classy looking. It doesn't look, like, not to say that it would be trashy, but it doesn't look edgy. You know what I mean? Like, say, Mai Shiranui has a classy look to her, but there's like a force to the way she looks. And if you looked at, like, say, Ivy from Soul Calibur, it's complete, like bad girl hard edge type thing. Whereas this can show that kind of flesh, but still maintains that, the soft kind of delicate, bunny personality, if you know what I mean. Very elegant kimono in the winter and the hot spring, that kind of thing. And that is part of what makes Noir such a great character. So let's go down here. Again, you got the back sort of like skirt cloth thing here, hiding over there. And you've got the butt coming out in the bottom of the butt cheeks. Again, her bunny outfit shows more because it's like a leotard. And it comes down right in the middle, and you see pretty much the whole butt. But this it shows less, but it's a little more appealing because of that. You know, it's like a Christmas present, you know? Because again, it's the Christmas event. I like how it kind of like pulls out like that. She's got like a little extra thick chunk, not to be fat, you know, because she's actually got the whole the gap there, which gives her that proper health, which seems a little more fitting to a Japanese character. And she is Japanese. She's not like some other nationality. She's very clearly designed after Japanese. It's that tan kind of Gyaru look, but not quite, you know. Blank is her sister, and Blank is as pale as you can get. You know, the whole idea is that one is tan, one is pale. They're sisters. One is white, one is black. Quite literally, their names. They're not like, you know, one is actually like black as an African or whatever. Everybody likes to do that. Every character that shows a bit of tan is automatically going to be, but it's not quite like that, and it's not like that with Rupee or Loopy, and it's not that with Noir. Not that that'd be terrible, you know what I mean? It'd be a little, maybe not super fitting in a Korean game, but like, I don't think anyone would object to it if they added a character. If they did it themselves of their own accord, not because someone made them, and you got some kind of like, I don't know, like, you know, famous character, you know, you could name any famous like style or look that they would have. You know, put in a chick in the classic like booty shorts and stuff like that. You know, give her like a leopard print jacket or something like that. You know, very stylish like that. You know, that or you know, any sort of other design. You know what I mean? You could add. There's so many other designs you could add, but I'll just keep going on for a bit while the camera remains locked here. I love like I said before, I like the way the flesh kind of puckers in there. You know, I've always liked that the kind of cuff of the nylon. You know, that kind of like tightens over there, and the flesh kind of like puffs out over there, but it retains the shape. So you can tell that she's got like some level of fitness there. And she does. There's a whole like story thing where it shows that how fit she has to be a pole dancer when she shows the commander. She's got that kind of thing where two things. If you can like, you know, reassure her, she'll get confident and she'll start showing you stuff. She'll dance, she'll do stuff that you wouldn't expect her to be able to do. Or if she's with her sister Blank, her confidence again boosts up again, but she still maintains that softness. She doesn't suddenly, you know, start talking like all aggressive and, you know, like mouthing off to people or something. Which is again what's great about this character. And for a while, it was, you know, going back and forth between Emma and Noir. I like Emma a lot, but her first outfit was one of the few outfits that were actually censored, which kind of pulls me back on the character. But you know, she's got other outfits that aren't. With like 200 characters, you're gonna have like several favorites, and you're gonna go back and forth between them. But maintaining Noir is always up there, and Emma is always up there personality wise. It's kind of tough, you know, because you see that like that censored outfit, and you're kind of like, yeah, it's like I know what you're doing. You know, it's not the fact that you're losing it because she's got other outfits that show just as much, if not more, which is kind of ridiculous. But you know how it is. Again, we won't go too much into that because this is not a like whole thing about that. It's more so about this. So because of that, Noir kind of like comes in a little above Emma, even though personality wise I like Emma a lot. But now that I really think about it, yeah, they're both pretty soft, the characters, but they're a different type of softness. Emma's more nurturing soft, whereas Noir is more timid soft. You go protect her. Emma will try to, you know, she'll you can protect her and she will accept that, and that's kind of part of the thing, and she'll need it too sometimes, you know, and she'll be very appreciated when she can be soft and timid at times too, but she's got like a leadership strength about her that kind of comes from again, it's not like a commanding strength you could use the word motherly. You know what I mean? People would say that about Emma. She's definitely the mom of the team, you know, that she's on. Whereas with Noir and Blank, Noir is the younger sister, even though, you know, they're both not exactly kids. You know what I mean? They're young adults. And Blank, even though she's smaller, she acts like the big sister. You know, she's the one who builds up her confidence to her other sister who's more timid. She'll like might tease her a bit and, you know, mess with her a bit. But then, you know, when somebody tries to pick on Noir, she'll be there to defend her. You know, and she'll always be there to help and to share. You know, with her sister. And Noir is kind of like that too. You know, so there's some pretty cool special events there. So we'll get some more chatting so we can get some great views over here. You know, this. So we're going to just turn around over here. You know, it's nice to, I kind of like this too. The little peeking of the inner sort of pelvic area there. Looks very nice. It's a little naughty, but it's, again, it still keeps that softness. You see, I like when, to describe this kind of thing. It's nice to be able to find the right words for these things when it comes to character types, because you have character types that are like soft or nurturing or something like that, but there's varying degrees about that. Like, you know, I always like to say there's more than one kind of crazy. And when people say Joker does this one type of thing, but then he does something else, I'd go, there's more than one type of crazy, and Joker is not that type of crazy. There's more than one type of soft and timid, and Noir is not that kind of soft and timid, if you know what I mean. She's not the completely cowering. She'll squeak and she'll cower, but it again, it feels more like a cuddly little creature when she does that. You know, she's not like completely defenseless in it too. She understands, you know, the allures of the flesh. She knows what she can do. She's not like blind to her attractiveness. She like it's, you know, a lot of times in anime and video games they'll have a character and they'll dress her sexy and she'll be completely blind. It's like, what, me? And I'm like, she'll have these like massive K-cup tits and this like thin waist and curvy thighs and everything like that and perfect skin, and she'll dress in this like amazing outfit that she picked herself and makeup and everything, and she'll go, me sexy? And you'll be like, yo, come on, sister, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Isn't that right? You know what you're doing, hey. So, but again, Noir is not like that, and many of the Nikkkw characters, or, you know, a lot of the gotcha game characters from those kind of games, the mobile waifu games, they're not like that. They don't do that kind of like, you know, act oblivious to it, you know, which I hate it when like people do that, and I hate it when they act as if like characters should do that. You know, no, this character is a timid, innocent character. She should never be like, you know, it's like, no, she's a human being. She's going to. Everybody will eventually, if you know what I mean. So let's get a nice wide look from back here. See, I've got the close-up going, and with the close-up going, it's giving me a better quality image. When I peer out with the camera, it kind of blurs a bit. I think I damaged the lens on the camera, not the lens cover, so it blurred it up a bit. But over here, it's looking pretty nice. Now let's turn that to the side there. There we are. Looking pretty good. And get a back view from the full one there. I like to ramble here. You know, maybe one day I'll start, you know, organizing my thoughts so you can actually understand what I'm saying. But it is pretty nice to be able to say this, you know, that there are different styles of, you know, levels to different things. You know, it's not all just one thing. So what we're going to do here now is actually take a look at the other head. I'm going to remove that and put that on. I'll be right back. There we go. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Okay, there we are. Looking through the camera, it actually looks pretty good. I think it's because of close up. It's like it's a timid wink, you know. Like, is she winking? Like trying to? No, no. I think what she's doing here is she's rubbing her eye. Something got in her eye. It's a glint of sun. It's like because again she's in the hot spring in the winter. She's going a little snowblind. She's rubbing her eye with her sleeve. Like what's that? Kind of thing. It's a little timidly. Again. Um, but yeah, it's looking good. I like it a lot. And the mouth a little open like that. When you look at her head here, this came off real easy though. I'll tell you. Let's pull that here. So yeah, that looks good. Is that a scar or is that just like a line of dirt on her face? Because she does not have a scar on her face later. Maybe she got injured in the story. I'll have to play it again. But all I remember is her like getting in the hot spring with the commander, which is the player, which is how it should be. You know what I mean? You got to make the player number one in these stories, especially these freaking like mobile waifu gotcha games. That's the whole freaking point to that. When they try to pull the crap like they did with Velvet, where she's like, "Oh, I tricked you and you're drunk and now you're gonna do my work for me," and it's like bullshit. And then they pull like other characters like Trina, and it's like, "Oh, is he fell asleep?" Because she's a tree, she's a human, but she's got like tree scents that make people woozy, so he'd fall asleep every time he put his face in her tits, which kind of ruined it. No action in the story, which is, something you want to encounter in these kind of games. And then they did the same thing with freaking like Emma's new, like upgraded, her tactical upgrade outfit. He did the same thing. He fell asleep again. Whereas in the old version, in this story, on top of the other story, like in her event too, like her actual counseling story, they all have their little counseling stories. Emma, got busy with the commander. In the freaking like this event, the Christmas event, Emma went and gave him like a slick oil massage type thing, and they got pretty like suggestive. They don't show anything, Nikkkw. Like they'll show them in sexy outfits, but they'll only kind of hint and tease and suggest, which it's part of the appeal of the game. It keeps the rating, but it also fits that kind of like that kind of look, that anime 90s type thing that you would see where they kind of give you the little innuendo. Same thing kind of happens with Noir. You know what I mean? When in her counseling event, it's like, "Oh, we're in the bed. Oh, and I feel something soft. What could it be?" And you hear kind of like the anime squeezing noise, the kind of noise, that happens with that. So with the thick characters, they used to do that a lot, but later they're like throwing in these like stupid things like that and making the commander look like an idiot, and it's stuff like that and a whole bunch of other things that that felt like very disrespectful. Then they throw you a couple other events and go, look, we like you guys again, we're being nice. And I'm like, yeah, I know that most of your original team is now gone. I know that once you split your team to work on freaking Stellar Blade, which is an amazing game, by the way. And Nikke's still a great game and has a pretty good story overall. But I know when you did that, things started changing. And I know at the beginning there were hints of that. From day one, you'd have a couple censored outfits. You'd have a couple things. But that's the funny thing. It's not the physical sex appeal that was removed. It's not the outfits that were covered. Because they only did it to like one or two at the beginning. And like nothing else later. They show more than most games. I mean, if you look at Eleg's Boo and Shock outfit, that's not the big deal. The fact that Eleg was like, use my shirt, top as a controller, which it is, but it's like, no, your answers for the commander are ... or no thanks. And I'm like, frickin' no way. The commander would not pass up that that opportunity. But no, they had to make it like, "Oh, look, Rappy's Red Hood now, and she's the ultimate, like, whatever words you're going to use that I don't want to use in this stream, where she just like decides that he can't have any girls. Yeah, it's a lot of crap like that they added into the game, and then they start like focusing on other characters that are like not Nikkei's and not part of the story, and the commander's not even there. He's like a background character in his own game, and they start going like, "Oh, you're not the true commander. You're a clone," and other commanders can use that Vapis ability too, and even other Nikkei's. So you're no longer special, and it takes away from it. I mean, you could say, "Oh, what's wrong with that? You don't want one character being all special." In a comic book, in a movie, maybe not, but in a video game, it's completely different. All right. So we are going to go on about that in another, maybe another one. Like, tell me in the comments, as they said. Do you want to hear more about my complaints about Nikke? As I can say plenty of positive things, or do you want to just see more of these great statues? So what I'm going to say is this is pretty great. The flaws are pretty minimal. Everything is good. It really takes me back to that Christmas event. In fact, I'm probably going to go back and try the Christmas event again just to relive that little story there. Maybe I'll play that online. So I'll say make sure to go hit the gym, work out for a bit, eat your protein, get your sleep. Have plenty of vegetables. Get some fruits for those electrolytes, especially your pineapples, your coconut water, your oranges. Stay fit, stay happy, stay healthy. That way you can work and earn your money and buy some cool stuff like that. Check you later.